You're listening to ESU Visiting Writers Series.
Hi, I'm Kevin Rabus at Emporia State, and I'm here with visiting writer and A&E artist Jessica Whitfield. Welcome, Jessica.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
As a luminary and rising star in our region, you're a powerhouse as a filmmaker. You're a screenwriter, a director, a producer, an actor, and a filmmaker. Of your many roles behind and in front of the camera, how does one role speak to and inform another as you work to make strong and lasting films?
Yes. So it works to have more than one skill set in this community. So if you are just an actor, basically you're auditioning for other people and you're relying on other people to have your chance to be creative. If you are also a screenwriter or producer, then you have an opportunity to write and produce your own work so you can cast yourself. And it makes it easier to act in the types of stories that you want to act in. And it basically just gives you more opportunities and more opportunities for other people, because as a producer and screenwriter, you need other people to help bring your film to life. And so you're giving opportunities to other talented people who you want to work with and help bring your story to life.
Tell me about your past and your training when it comes to making plays, making films, making things for the stage and screen.
I first started playwriting back in high school. I had a playwriting class, and then in college, I joined this group called the Playwrights Acting Company, where it was a group of students that were actors, playwrights, and directors. And it was so much fun because the playwrights would bring our scripts to this group, and we would have little staged readings within the class and the group. And we would get feedback from the other students in this group, so you could do a rewrite. Then at the end of the semester, the group would vote on what scripts they wanted to have in the showcase. And then the directors would choose their scripts and cast the actors from this group. And then you got to see your work showcased at the end of the semester in a full production. So it was really rewarding to see your work come to life. And after graduating, I've submitted some plays to some playwright festivals, and I've had some produced. And then more recently, I got involved in screenwriting, which is completely different from playwriting. There's a lot of differences, but you do have more opportunities because a play pretty much always takes place in one location. But with a screenplay, you can have multiple locations, and you can shoot outside, you can shoot inside. There's so many beautiful locations around the Kansas City area to shoot in. And you'll need someone to help you produce it or direct it. You can't be cinematographer and sound and everything and acting. You need other people to help you, but you can find people to help you to bring your work to life.
Speaking of bringing your work to life, what are some of your favorite experiences in the filmmaking community in Kansas City?
Some of my favorite experiences of filmmaking in the KC community, working with the IFC KC, doing some of their screenwriting contests and filmmaking contests is a great way to get one of your scripts or one of your films done really quickly. And you get to, compete with other filmmakers, and there'll be a screening where you can see everything up on the big screen. So that's kind of how I started out with my screenwriting. And now I've met so many people through that group that I've had the chance to work with my friend Gordon, who we did the timed film competitions with. I've seen so many times, and we're like, you know what? Let's do something that's not a timed competition. So we made Traffic Girl, which was kind of our first one, and we got into First City and KC Film Fest this past year. So that was our first time going through those festivals, and So now we've learned a lot through Traffic Girl, and I was able to bring my script prepper to him, which is very personal to me. And so we shot that this spring, and he's working on post-production right now. But yeah, that's been my favorite script so far.
Right. Speaking of films you've made, you have this great range of films when it comes to poignant, powerful, and frightening, and Traffic Girl about sexual trafficking, to zany and poignant in Laney's Secret, which plays off of a Sixth Sense trope, to the zany and playful misadventures of Max and Anna and The Delivery. Tell me about your wide range as a writer, actor, and filmmaker, and how does this, where does this impressive range come from? Where do you draw inspiration? What is your thought process as you begin each new work?
Yes, I do have a wide range of genres that I like to write with. And I think that's because I like watching a wide range of genres when I'm watching plays or screenplays. And I like comedy. I like laughing. At other times, I like drama. I like seeing something that's makes me think or makes me feel something. Other times I like to watch sci-fi movies and watch something that's an escape, basically. So I try to bring that into my writing. With The Adventures of Max and Anna and High Priestess Punch, that was actually a timed competition. And we wanted to create this movie with two female characters, two leads, that wasn't about them, fighting over a guy or, these classic things that you see in a lot of movies. We just wanted to have this strong relationship between these two female characters and the adventures that they go on and being strong women in that process. And The Delivery was another timed competition. We just wanted to make something fun and to make people laugh. With Traffic Girl, that was kind of our first time doing something more serious. But again, we wanted to use some strong female characters and show them trying to help others and to take on these really, hard topics and these hard things that do happen in real life. But how can we make it interesting? And so we added the sci-fi elements to it. With Laney's Secret, that was another timed competition, but basically I was inspired by the TV show Ghosts, which I've been watching lately. I was trying to figure out, how can I write a short script for 10 actors? And it was very challenging, but in the show Ghosts, it's this great comedic sitcom that has a lot of really interesting characters. And the way that they pull it off is, well, some of them are alive and some of them are ghosts. And we were just shooting it in one location in a house. And I thought, well, what if that bus is haunted and some of these people are ghosts from, and I love the costumes in the show Ghosts. And it's like, I have a lot of cool costumes. I can bring some of those for the actors, and maybe other people have cool costumes. So that's kind of how that one came about.
Great. When it comes to strong women and women in film, with the recent success of Barbie, Warner Brothers' highest grossing film, a national and international spotlight has been put on women in filmmaking. What are your thoughts on the state of and promising future of the role of women in filmmaking and film?
Screenwriting has been a male-dominated field for a very long time. And, there's a lot of great male screenwriters out there. However, I think a lot of people are tired of seeing the same old stories all the time, and they're wanting to see more representation on the screen, and they're wanting to hear other voices and hear other points of view. And I think there's going to be more opportunities for women and minority writers going forward, because audiences are hungry for these stories. They are hungry to see these representations and voices up on the screen. And we have stories to tell. And I think if you are a female screenwriter, you're going to hear feedback from other people telling you, oh my gosh, you're alienating half of your audience. This character is man-hating. So yeah, there's a lot of criticism of the Barbie movie from these people, but we've heard their stories for generations now, and there are people that are in support of the Barbie movie and in support of hearing these other voices. So you can't always listen to the naysayers, and you know, don't let them bring you down. You've got to keep going and let your story be told.
I hear that your film prepper is in post. What's next for you, and what are you working on currently as a filmmaker?
Yes, prepper is in post-production right now, and I'm very passionate about that project. Something that I'm working on now, so my script's romantic AF. My friend Sam Toddy is interested in directing that, so he and I had a meeting recently. He does some Sherlock Holmes movies, so he loves doing period films. And he was asking me if I had a romance that he was wanting to direct. So I brought to him my script, Romantic AF, which part of it is a period romance and part of it is modern day. So I thought that Sam would be a great director for this project because he has experience directing period things. And basically I really love period dramas and Victorian era romances. And so I was thinking, you know, that's going to be hard to produce though. What if part of it is modern day and one of these characters from the Victorian era romance is like a fish out of water and comes to the modern world. So that's kind of where that idea came from. And yeah, I'm excited to see what Sam does with it and go into production later this fall.
We're so lucky to be able to do a Reader's Theater bit with the Romantic AF today at Emporia State. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the students do a read through of it. And that way, maybe I can get some feedback on the script and see if there's anything that I need to change before we go into production.
Rock on. What is some advice you have for young or new filmmakers? What do you wish you had known years ago?
I guess advice that I would give you is that it can be difficult. Even just starting out, going through the writing process, writing a screenplay is very challenging. I feel like writing a poem or a short story is easier because you only need yourself to do it. However, there's a lot more competition with writing poetry and short stories. There's less competition with writing a play or a screenplay, but there's a lot more work. With writing a play, you are mostly writing dialogue, and the director is going to take that into rehearsals and rehearse with these actors. With a screenplay, you're not going to have that. So you have to take the time to write less dialogue. You want to show it, don't say it. And you need to make sure that the person reading the screenplay understands. So you've got to find ways to write the subtext and, you know, not so on the nose, spell it out. So it is a lot of work, but it's probably going to take more than one draft. You're going to go through several drafts, but in the end, you know, if you are passionate about it, you know, keep going, get people to help you produce your work, and don't give up.
Excellent. Beyond don't give up, do you have any other kind of final words for our listeners?
Yes, I would say it's really important to network. And you just staying at home waiting for somebody to call you on the phone, you're not going to get anywhere. You need to go out to events. Local screenings are a great way to meet other filmmakers in the community. There's groups in Kansas City. There's the KC Screenwriters Group, which meets every Wednesday, sometimes online, sometimes in person. They can give you feedback on your script. It's a great organization. There's the IFC-KC, which they were so welcoming to me when I first started out in film in Kansas City. And it's a great way to meet people and make connections, meet other filmmakers of all aspects. And they have these film contests that they do. They're getting ready to do a horror film contest coming up in October. So I'm excited for that. And there's also KC WIFT, which is now WIFM KC, which is Women in Film and Media in Kansas City. And it's not just for women. Anybody can join, but they are focused on women in film and media. But yes, any genders are welcome there. And so, yeah, I would just say just network, meet other people, get to know them. And yeah, you'll make some friends along the way as well.
Well, thank you for being here with us at Emporia State and sharing with us.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This has been a lot of fun.